Okay. Now that is scary. I'm scared now. I'm scared of doing this Hangout. I don't think I can do this Hangout. I'm scared. I'm scared. Please, gang. Hey, look, if you're afraid of doing Hangouts, there's nothing to be afraid of. I can promise you. Nothing at all. This is what we're going to talk about today. Thanks for coming in, and those of you that are coming in. Okay. Hold on. That's scary. Got a little stuff going on in the background. I want to say, I think that some people are afraid to get on camera. Some people are afraid that, oh my gosh, I'm not going to look good. You know, like I took a lot of time to do my hair today. So I'm just going to go through. I'm just playing around. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little, let me put a little music in the background here. Just to, so you don't get tired of hearing my voice, because I know I'm tired of hearing my voice, and I'm the only one here. So there we go. Get that going. A little low in the background. Might turn it up every once in a while in case my headset goes out. Andrew knows me well and knows how that goes. So I'm gonna keep this going as we go. We'll go over a couple things in the Hangout. Talk about in the Hangout, then I'll talk about user to user, and hopefully some of this stuff helps you guys. I'm going to switch back and forth. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to talk really fast. Feel free to leave comments. I'll invite anybody in. I'll invite Andrew in at the very end of this, because user to user is his community. So I want to make sure that he is recognized for that. So without further ado, let me get on and make sure I cut, because I got a lot of stuff to cover. So inside a Hangout, let me pan over to, I have another Hangout open with me in it, which you can do. You can have two Hangouts open, and you can see the icons that come up whenever you're around. Okay, so you can see all the stuff here. For example, down in the bottom, you have this is what we call the film strip, where all the people are listed. They'll be listed right here, here, a bunch of pictures, big squares, has each person. Okay. So that's where the film strip is, and pinning that. When I pin it, that means if I don't pin myself, it just puts a blank screen there. When I pin myself down in there, and you'll see a white box go around it. Did you see that white box that came up? There's a white box right here all the way around. That means that that person is pinned. So if you hear somebody say pinning, that's what that is. I'm just going to go a bunch of things. You're going to learn a whole lot all at once and all kinds of stuff. So if you have any questions, like I said, go ahead. But I'm trying to look, but then I'm not trying to look. Just kidding. I will look around and try and help as much as I can. Next thing, I want to clarify up here, this little blue box. It's called chat up in the top left corner. Okay, that's blue box. It opens up the chat, the group chat. This is chat for people inside the film strip. Okay, this is only for people inside this little Hangout room, so you understand that. Okay, that's what that chat is. If you want chat from, let's say, from the event where you started something, let's go over to the event. I'll transition right over to that. And if you look here, this is chat that you guys are talking and doing, and this is chat that you can do using Comment Tracker. Bring it right into your Hangout. That's a different chat, though. This is on the event. This is inside the Hangout. That's the difference in the two. Okay, so I want to clarify that, because some people get confused on that one. Next, another cool tool that a lot of people use and will use is screen share. Let me see if I can click on that and go to that little green. It's going to be right there. Oops, got to turn the music up. Sorry, didn't mean to jam y'all out. Okay, I had to throw that, keep that sound going, so it keeps my headset going, because I have a wireless headset. Anyway, so that little arrow where you see right there, that's where the comes up for the screen share. That's to screen share something if you want to screen share with somebody. We can go into more details on all this stuff if you want to get in a Hangout and do kind of go over things. Just leave something in User2User, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Hangout Toolbox, another one that a lot of people use is the Hangout Toolbox. So it's this opens up. Hangout Toolbox gives you an opportunity to add lower thirds and things like that. So you can add lower thirds and all that kind of stuff. Again, I'm not going to go into great detail, but I am just going to kind of show you some of these things and show you what they do. The other one is Comment Tracker. You can use Comment Tracker, and a lot of people use Comment Tracker to put in, you know, the stuff that to get the comments off of the event. And that's a whole nother Hangout as well to teach you some of those kind of things. So I don't want to go into too much, but I just, or bore you to death. And some of you already know this, but I'm just trying to help out the newer people and stuff. So I covered, let's see, we covered chat, we covered comments in the event, we covered comments in the chat, obviously within the Hangout. We talk about screen share, we talk about Hangout Toolbox, we talked about Comment Tracker, we talked about Film Strip, and we talked about pinning. So we covered all that stuff, a lot of stuff all at once. Okay, invite. Let me show you some of the other tools that are inside here. If you look up at the top here, you can see this area right up here, and you'll see right here is invite people is the one with the little man with a plus sign. So if I put that right there, let me just turn the music down just a little bit. I can invite people. So this is how I can invite Andrew in. This is what I'm going to do in just a minute, but that's how you do it. And then you just enter it, hit invite, boom. And you'll see me do that. You don't necessarily see me do that, but that's what I'll be doing. Now to mute, I can do, I can click on the microphone and you can't hear me right now. And I'm still talking. So that was the mute. And you can also do Control D, which is kind of cool. If you're getting ready to type, you can start with Control D. So it'll mute you right before you go. The other thing is I can click on this camera right up here, and that just puts my avatar up there instead. So I can do Control E to mute my image. Control E, yep, there you go. Mute my image, and Control E, it's a toggle. It goes back and forth, so you can do that. Adjust your bandwidth. If you know you're in a bad area, just adjust your bandwidth here so you're not trying to get full force video coming out there. Then the gear wheel. The gear wheel gives you the ability to see what camera you have, what microphone you have, and then default sound. Also, I mean, you can pick the default or you can choose different things. Like I can choose my different cameras that I have here. So, and then I can, if I have more than one sound, I have a bunch of sounds, things that I can pull up and use. So that's just ways of you to pull in your sounds and give you things and ideas of the Hangout. That's the Hangout area. So that's that's just some cool stuff that really gives you a chance to see the inside scope of a Hangout. Let's get right on to User2User. Let me show you inside User2User real quick. And then, like I said, I'll bring Andrew in a moment to go over some of this stuff so you're able to see some of the things that he'll be able to explain more of what some of these features are and things like that. So let's get right into it. If you look here, it has, this is about this community. I think this is an important part. Take the time to read that because it really will help, especially if you're new, to clear up some of the things. Really cool videos right below that I feel are, I don't know, very useful to help you, especially if you're a newbie. One really cool one too, if you want help live right now, like I can click on this, live help chat now. If I click on that, which is right here, there's like 7 or 8 people that are notified as soon as you do that. This opens up in a business Hangout. It's totally different from a regular Hangout. But what happens is it opens up in a business Hangout, and it sends an email to these 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. And then what happens is, uh-oh, there goes my headset again. Hold on. I always have to kick in some music to get this thing going. There we go. Okay, good. All right, now I can hear you. You can probably hear me fine, but I couldn't hear you too well. But anyway, So what that does is 6 or 7 or 8 people come into the live help chat now. They come into a room and you can get help with something if you need it. Let's see. We also, on this page, if you look over here, you can see the categories that we have. Okay, all the categories. That's when you're making a post. You can make that post directed directly to something. Um, uh, all the different things. Like if you just have a general discussion, or you want to talk specifically about business hangouts or questions about that, you can add that tag to it or category to it, excuse me, and put it right in that category. And where that shows up, just so you can see, is right below wherever the topic is. So something like right there. Here, I don't want to cover it up, but like right there, that's where it shows up. So if I go to another one, like here's the one that I did today is under general discussion. Boom. That's how it shows up. That's the one I chose when I put this post in here for this event. I also created this event inside User2User, so you can see that you can create an event right in here. If you wanted to have an event inside User2User, get some practice and invite some people, you can do that. So those are all different tools and things that you can use to help you there. One thing that's kind of cool that I love is search in a community, all communities. If I go in and I put in nightly, it's going to search and open up and bring up the nightly chat. A lot of times I'll do a nightly chat just to come in, just anybody can come in, ask questions, sit in with us. It's kind of cool. It's like a little room. We just sit in there and we just chat about stuff. And feel free, there's a link here. This link is usable by anyone. It's an open link and it's a continuous link that goes forever. Feel free to use that if you wanted to start one. You can call it the exact same thing. We can all use this link at the same time. And I'll put that in the comment section of this event, so you'll have it. It's a bit.ly and then /nightly chat really is all it is. So that's it. I'm going to invite Andrew in so he can come in and tell you a little bit more about his community. So I'm going to go to the Hangout. Actually, let me show you. Yeah, I don't have that. Okay. Andrew. All right. Okay, I just invited him in. He should be in any moment. And he can talk about the community, and I will be glad to either go to screen sharing that. Like here's where I found the nightly, and it shows all the nightly ones that I've done. And if you want to go back to the main thing, just click User2User Live again. Takes you right back to the page I was before, where I was. So you can look at that. And let's see if but other things too, and the criteria, just so you guys know before anybody, or you want to invite some friends in, they can't be a bluehead. Here's a couple of the criteria right here, and I'll emphasize this. Let me zoom into that so you can kind of see. Andrew, I'm talking about the criteria for the User2User. If you want to go over that right now, you're welcome to do that because I have it up on screen. It's up to you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, okay, because it's still saying opening toolbox. It's very slow tonight for some reason. Okay. Now I see your screen. Thank you for inviting me in.
What's your community, buddy?
That's the first.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that? No, I can't hear you.
Okay, hang on. I've got two. Yeah, I can hear you, and I've got an echo, and I know it's because I've got a tab open somewhere.
No, it's probably me. I mean, it could be me. I don't know, because I had the sounds going, but But anyway, criteria for user to user. If you have to have a profile. You need a profile and a picture. That's the first thing. Number two is in a business page, you have to need a logo, etc. That's key.
Yeah.
Your page profile about section must be a paragraph or more, not just something that you just kind of threw together at the last minute. Number four, you must have more than one post in Google+. Make sure you have a couple posts out there. That's the main thing. And no nude or risque pictures. All those, please forward to me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but you can't have any of that kind of stuff. We're just trying to keep the riffraff out of here. And tell us about yourself in the introduce yourself category, which I showed you the categories. If you look back over here, I believe introduce yourself is kind of, and I could be getting this wrong just because I can't see real well, but I think it's like right in here. Is that the third one?
Yeah,
Like
third one down.
Okay, third one down.
I think third one down. Anyway, it's over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to correct a slight misconception that
Please.
Michael has, and that's that it is my community. Michael and I talked about this thing before it even started. You can own, one person has to own it. We couldn't set it up so both of us, at the time it was set up, you couldn't have co-owners. Okay, so I set it up under my account. But if it wasn't for Michael, I would never have started this thing. It would never have grown like it is. So really, it is it's your community. We started it. That's basically it. Now, occasionally, I will try and pull rank, like with the eject button if he gets uppity or something. Other than that, it's our community. He's done a great job of showing it off too. The community categories are mostly self-explanatory. I've got some reserved. If you think that a certain subject deserves its own category, let me know and I can set one up for it. I think I've pretty much covered all the general categories. But if there's something, if you think that the Pixlr stuff that Terry does deserves its own category. Now, it is under previous videos and previous Hangouts. So if you're looking for the Pixlr stuff, it's categorized under there with playlists on his community, and I've linked them over to here. But I don't know if there's not a whole lot much more I can say about the community except that it is user to user. Michael and I aren't and can't do it all. If you've got questions, let us know. Post them in the community. Don't send us a private message. Post them in the community. That way everybody gets a chance and you'll probably get an answer quicker. I mean, Michael and I are on a lot, but there are times when we're not. And, John or Lon or whoever, Mark, any of them could know the answer to your question. So, post it in community. Let everybody else get a chance to answer it. By all means, if you need help with something, practicing something, post your request. You'll get a flood of people. And when you post your request, please don't say, "I need to practice," and let it go at that. Please specify a time so that people will know what time, whether they'll be able to, because you say, "I need help," they may be willing to help, and then you mention a time, and they say, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't make it then." If you put the time up front, it increases your chances of getting somebody that's going to be free at that time responding to you. Also,
all these are great points. All these are fantastic points. You're being very kind, and I appreciate you. You're right. It is our community. We did start it. But I can't emphasize, I just want to reiterate what you're saying. I absolutely agree with you. It is users helping users. It's not just Michael and Andrew helping people.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going. Right. What were you going to say? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
The other thing is one of the benefits of the community. And there seems to be some question about this. If you've got a public hangout scheduled and you are a member of this community, do two things. One, post it in the member hosted Hangout section. Share it with this community under that category, and then make sure that I get a private invitation to it, because that way I can mark it yes or maybe, which lets me throw it into that opening daily summary that I do every day. If you post it in the community under the members hosted section, I may or may not see it in time, but if you send me a direct invitation, I'm always going to see it. I do that, and it has to get to me before midnight of the day before it's going to happen, because it's shortly after midnight when I do that summary thing and
So
hit
right
my
here is what you're talking about,
yeah
just so I can members
yeah
hosted HOA. Okay,
hmm
good. Okay, good.
yeah
Okay.
yeah. If like they do a thing and then they share it to that category, and then
Okay.
they make sure and add me to any notice, me personally, not the community.
Right. Right. Not the community, just you,
Right, right,
Andrew Hatchett.
right.
Right.
Uh,
Then you'll make sure it's in one of these, right? Where you do like the four things or
yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, depending on how it gets bigger or smaller, depending on how many are on
sure.
that particular day, you know.
Sure, that makes
And
sense.
just as a general thing, you always want, if you have an event, you almost 99.9% of the time, you want to share it with the community. You do not want to place an invitation in somebody else's community. If you share it in the community, it puts one post and the person can say yes or no. If you invite the entire, it sends everybody an invitation.
Kind
And
of
a lot of
spams.
people could, yeah, a lot of people
Mhm.
consider that spam, and then spam is not good. I don't care what, the meat company says. I just
Mhm.
don't like it. And I think that's the high point of everything. Now, if anybody's got any questions or wants to know more about any specific subject, please let us know.
And let me tell you, we have a lot of very common people that come in all the time, and I'm going to go down to the comments the way I do comments. I do it differently than a lot of other people when I do things, and I can teach people these things too. But because one of the comments is asking a question already, so and we'll answer that in just a second. But I want to go to the comments for one reason. A lot of this regulars that come in all the time, and I'm going to mention their names. These guys help each other out too. They all know about this. So I'm going to mention some people, and some people that are new might find out too that are in the comment section too. So anybody re-watching this, please feel free to add a comment here. I want you to. Let me transition over to that. Mark Barris is one of them. Lon McClure. There we go. Melanie McDonald has become pretty regular. She comes in every once in a while. John Brown for sure. These are all people that help each other. We all help each other. So I'm just kind of scrolling through and getting some names. I see Andrew Ledford. He's fairly new, which is good. Nancy, I think you're fairly new. Melita, she's on and off. She had some real business coming up and stuff, so she wants to get some information out of it. She says she's having trouble with Comment Tracker. This is a perfect place to come. This is the kind of thing if you have any questions. John Jerkowicz, he sends people our way all the time. Another one who's in most evenings whenever, and he'll tell you, he says, man, I learn something every time I come in when we'll do our nightly, the nightly chats or whatever. So that being said, let's go to Mark's question here. Question: would there be any benefit to have an HOA hosted by the community? You want to answer that, Andrew, or you want me to?
I'll give my answer first because I'm not sure of it. But I
Okay.
don't believe a community can host an HOA. It's got to be started by a profile or a page, I believe. Now you can start a HOA within a community by going down to the event at the bottom of the categories. If you click that, you can start an event from there. But a community can't actually act as a host for an HOA, I don't believe. I may be
That is,
wrong.
no, that is correct. So the question: would there be any benefit to have an HOA hosted by the community? So no. The only benefit that you have by putting it in the community or starting the event in the community would be that, like for this one tonight, I don't have this one going out to the public. I have it just coming to this community. So that would be when you initially make your event, make it public, make it event, make it this community. You invite all those at the initial time, so that way it gets posted into the event section of your community. So if I go back over to this to user, and I want to look, you'll see that that event is posted in this community. So if you have 3 communities that would all benefit from this, then maybe you would want to put in the community. But Andrew is 100% right. A community cannot start an HOA or hosted by, let's say. But that would be the benefit and the reason. For example, tonight, this Hangout, I'll just reiterate just kind of what I just said. I started this Hangout in this community. If you look at the event, I don't know if you can see the event page here. I'll go to it so you can see. If I go over to this screen right here, which is the wrong one, let me go to the right one. I thought, well, maybe it is. Hold on a second. Oh, I see. I know why. Because I'm highlighting this area. Let me go zoom in real quick. If you look, and I'm going to pull this over. If you notice right here under the details, it says created by Michael Daniels, and it's a private event. Now, it's not a private event because we're all watching it in a public community. But because I didn't invite the public, it makes your event private. So I can't even use comment tracker because it's not going to pull. The comments have to come from the public. So those are just some key things and tricks and stuff like that that you learn along the way, just so you all know. So that's kind of what that. So to answer your question, there's no benefit or there's no way to really do it. They used to have, when communities first came out, they used to have a Hangout button that you could start up and everybody just come into there and that kind of thing. We kind of did that on our own. If you look at User2User, we use business Hangouts for that purpose, and that's where we do the live chat now button. Let's see if I can get to that, which is right here. I think that's where it is. Is that where it is? I think so. Yeah, live help chat now. So that's what we do. You with me, Andrew, still? It looks like he kind of froze. Folks, that's all. Since that's all the questions really that we have and everything, I just wanted to give this for newbies so they could use this. Do you have anything else, Andrew?
No, not unless anybody's got any more questions out there.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think everybody's, it's pretty much the regulars. But if anybody does, please feel free to add comments in here. I'll come back and look at another time, whenever. I'll see your comments and get a notification, and I'll respond to it if I can help, or anybody can help. You know, anybody can respond too. Use the community for what it's worth. We really want people using the community. So, and if you ever want to be in a Hangout or in here with us and learn some more or start something, feel free to do so and invite us all. I'll invite all the guys that are in the audience can come up and join us, and I'm going to stop the broadcast for now. Thank you, Andrew, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Let me, I got to have a little bit of music to end this thing, right? There we go. Let me go. There we go.
Okay, is this a musical postlude?
Let me get a little, right there, a little jazzy blues. How's that? Is that good? Add a little bit of that to end the thing off, so that way we know it's the end anyway.